My friend, the Philadelphia Eagles' 2026 offseason is revealing an urgent need that Howie Roseman simply can't hide anymore. A former first-round draft pick, 6'5", 260 pounds of potential, signed to a one-year contract. Sounds good on paper, but when you dive into the numbers and the history of this player, the story gets a whole lot more complicated. I'm going to break down who this edge rusher is, what this signing says about the Eagles' current situation at the position, and whether this move actually solves the problem or just delays the hard conversation. But first, if you follow the Eagles closely and want the latest news from this offseason, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because this Eagles free agency is moving fast, and I'm bringing you everything. With the 2026 season approaching and free agency in full swing, the Philadelphia Eagles front office is racing against the clock to build a competitive defensive line. The team, known for Howie Roseman's aggressiveness in the market, is showing signs of desperation in a critical area, and the latest move makes that crystal clear. The name that just walked through the doors of the Jefferson Health Training Complex is Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, edge rusher and former number 32 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. According to Jeff McLean of the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Eagles signed JTS to a one-year contract. Fox Sports NFL reporter Greg Auman confirmed the news and added a telling detail. At just 26 years old, Tryon-Shoyinka recorded 22 tackles and 0 sacks last season, split between the Browns and the Bears. Let that sink in for a second. 0 sacks for an edge rusher in an entire season. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka's journey through the NFL is one of those stories that makes any football fan stop and think. Drafted in the first round of 2021 by the Buccaneers, the same team that had just won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, JTS arrived with enormous expectations. 6'5", 260 pounds, elite athleticism. On paper, everything you want in a modern edge rusher. But reality told a different story. In 4 seasons in Tampa Bay, Tryon-Shoyinka totaled just 13 sacks. For a player who came in as a first-round pick and held a prominent spot on the roster, that number is flat-out disappointing. The situation got so critical that the Buccaneers didn't just refuse to sign him to a contract extension, they declined his 5th-year option in May of 2024, which would have cost $13.2 million for the 2025 season. When a team walks away from the 5th-year option on a first-round pick, the message is loud and clear, and what made the exit even more painful for JTS was the reason behind it. A 3rd-round rookie from the 2023 draft, Yaya Diaby, simply showed up and took Tryon-Shoyinka's starting spot. That says everything about how the Buccaneers evaluated his ceiling. Tryon-Shoyinka then signed with the Cleveland Browns in 2025 for 1 year and $4,755,000. The numbers there were even more alarming. In 8 games with the Browns, Greg Auman documented it. 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss, just 1 QB hit, and 9 total tackles. So disappointing, in fact, that Cleveland shipped him to the Chicago Bears at the trade deadline, along with a 2026 7th-round pick, in exchange for a 6th-round pick. The Browns paid to get rid of him. In Chicago, the story got slightly more interesting, at least statistically. Draft analyst Jacob Infante noted that Tryon-Shoyinka posted a 73.5 PFF grade and a 29.2% pass rush win rate with the Bears, which ranked 4th best in the NFL at that point. Infante was quick to qualify it though, small sample size, but at least there was a sign of life. Combined across both teams in the 2025 season, JTS finished with 22 tackles and no sacks. That is the player the Eagles just added to their roster. So the question is, does this actually solve anything for Philadelphia's defensive line? To understand the gravity of the situation, you need to understand the context at the position for the Eagles. The reporting, as covered, does not specify which other edge rushers are currently on the roster or exactly how critical the need is. And accuracy demands I don't fill in what the source doesn't tell us. What is clear from the coverage itself is that heavy. Com described this move as the Eagles scraping the bottom of the barrel at edge rusher. That is not the language of a team comfortable with its options. When a specialized outlet uses exactly those words to describe a free agent signing, it's a red flag. Not irresponsible criticism, a diagnosis of where the Eagles stand in terms of depth at the position. And the portrait of Tryon-Shoyinka that emerges from the coverage is concerning for reasons beyond the box score numbers. One of the consistent problems identified throughout his career has been his lack of versatility. If he wasn't rushing the passer, there wasn't much else he could offer the defense. And even in the pass rush, the results were inconsistent at best. There's also an interesting technical point raised in the analysis. Given Tryon-Shoyinka's size and athleticism, no defensive coordinator should hesitate to slide him inside to a 3 technique over a guard when needed. It's something that was never even considered during his 4 years with the Buccaneers. Will the Eagles try to use him more creatively? Can Nick Sirianni and the defensive staff unlock something that Tampa Bay and Cleveland couldn't? That's the implicit bet in any signing of a player with JTS's profile. You're wagering that a new environment, a new system, and a fresh opportunity will unlock something that's been dormant. Sometimes it works. Sometimes what you see is exactly what you get. The fact that JTS is just 26 years old is the most compelling argument in favor of this signing. In the NFL, there are stories of players who took time to find themselves and broke out at the right moment, with the right team, in the right scheme. If the Eagles can find the right role for Tryon-Shoyinka within their defensive system, whether as a situational rusher or with more versatility than he's ever shown, the 1-year deal could prove to be a smart, low-risk gamble. But there's a financial angle worth noting. JTS's previous contract with the Browns was $4,755,000 for 1 year. The current reporting doesn't reveal the value of the Eagles deal, so a direct comparison isn't possible. What we do know is that Tryon-Shoyinka's market value almost certainly did not grow after a sackless season split between 2 teams. That suggests the Eagles likely landed him below market value, which is the only clear upside visible in this transaction. Howie Roseman has a history of hunting for value in players other teams gave up on. Sometimes that strategy uncovers hidden gems. Sometimes it produces exactly what the price tag suggests. With JTS, the market has been pretty clear about its assessment. Tampa Bay didn't want to pay, Cleveland wasn't satisfied and moved him before the deadline, and Chicago used him basically as depth. So what's the verdict? This is a signing born out of necessity, not desire. The Eagles clearly need depth at edge rusher, and the options available on the market were limited. JTS is 26 years old. He has the physical tools you want at the position, and there's a small flash of production with the Bears that hints, just hints, that there might still be something to develop. A 1-year contract keeps the risk manageable, but nobody here should pretend this is an exciting acquisition. The Eagles need an edge rusher who can change games. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka's track record, up to this point, does not suggest that player lives inside him. Hope is going to have to be enough, at least for now. With free agency still ongoing and the draft right around the corner, what should Howie Roseman's next move be to strengthen the Eagles' defensive line? Should the Eagles chase another addition on the market, bet on JTS's development, or target edge rusher early in the 2026 draft? Drop your take in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles updates.